And now we're going to turn to design as one of the aspects of structure. The process of connecting the material and the ideal we call design. Design is a business of playing the material off against the ideal, where at times designing leads us into previously undiscovered spaces in the material world and the imaginable in the ideal world. Design is a word that has a nicely double meaning. As a noun, design is the pattern of something, which might be the design of a text or of an image or of a space or of an object, of a bodily configuration, a sound or speech. But as a verb, design is something that we do. Design is a process. Here is the process aspect of design now. As a prelude to meaning, we have design resources, patterns of meaning in the material world, and the connections we have learned using media to express these meanings in text, image, space, object, body, sound, and speech. Next, we do the work of designing. This may be by way of representation of something to ourselves, or it might be communicating with others, or it may be interpreting traces of meaning that we've encountered. Meaning is always a kind of work, mental and often physical as well. For example, typing or speaking are in a way physical work. The designs we make are always in some respect predictable because we can trace their roots back to the resources from which we've drawn these experiences of meaning and the practices we've learned. And then we're left with a trace of having meant. This may be a memory in the case of a representation, but often the trace is material, a communicable meaning. This is what we call the redesign because it has evidence both of sameness and difference. It must have used resources which are in some senses explicable, and it's this that makes the meaning potentially intelligible to another person or to yourself at a later point. But every time, even though we can trace these samenesses, it's been reconfigured uniquely. It's in some senses a little bit different. No two photographs, after all, are the same. No two conversations. No two objects, no matter how faithful to the prototype we may want them to be. Meaning inevitably is transformation. So the task of grammar is to account for the samenesses and trace the differences. Most importantly, the differences are not entirely fickle and they're not completely unfathomable despite their variety. There are patterns in the differing. How might a woman redesign a meaning compared to a man, or a child compared to an adult? Now here is a rough map of the action structure of design across different forms of meaning. You've seen text on screens or pages, and this is the experience that is the basis for your own writing words, or maybe using text to perform mathematics or to write computer code, which in turn is new in the sense that it's never quite the same as the text you've seen. Or let's take the case of body. You've seen fashions and you've seen certain kinds of demeanour, and these may influence your fashion sense and your demeanour now, but what you do in any one moment is never exactly the same as what you've already seen in your own experience of life.